Do you think Messi is starting to decline?
No.
Controversial question, I know, but I mean, obviously, his performances in the league haven't been amazing recently. Obviously,
Well,
there was
they,
the motivation thing. You know, I think that
there was
you look at the politics above them, and we obviously we're mostly Premier League supporters here. You look at the politics above them. You try and play a game when you don't even know what's going on above you. Like, could you imagine the institution that paid you? There's some serious stuff going on. And
maybe I worded that wrong. Maybe he hasn't started to decline, but do you not think he's starting to be more and more convinced that Barcelona isn't the place for him anymore?
Well, they're two different questions. I'll start with the first one because it is worth mentioning some things.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Messi, he's not as young as he was. When he was young, he used to be very dynamic. He'd pick up the ball, take on as many players as he could. And whilst he still does, he has a phenomenal dribbling rate, he is more of a reserved kind of attacking midfielder now, in that he'll pick up the ball, ping a vertical ball over for Jordi Alba or for Dest or Dembele or someone, who will then cut it back for him to then shoot and score, or for them to get an assist. That's the more sort of player he is. He is a much deeper sort of midfielder. Koeman was playing a 4-2-3-1 earlier this season, and so he literally was playing in the attacking midfield role for a lot of it, which is why his goal rate declined. And by the way, so people think that he's not doing so well. He was, up until this weekend, the top scorer in La Liga. So, he is still a phenomenal player. His pass rate is incredible. Out of all the players in Europe, he has created the most chances this season, according to a stat that I saw the other day. So he is still playing very well. As to him wanting to be at the club or not, it's difficult to say. Because he sent this burofax in the summer, which would indicate he wanted to leave. But then changes actually kicked in. Bartomeu did leave. There's the potential of Xavi coming in. He's got a real good link with Pedri in the team. And so he had an interview over December talking about everything that happened in the summer. He's calmed down now. He's a bit happier with the squad. He says he's very happy with the way the team is playing. He's definitely staying for the rest of the season. But he said that he doesn't know whether or not he wants to leave. And when he says that, I think he means it. I honestly don't think that he knows what he wants to do. He said a possibility. I think that if he is to leave, this is the most likely. A possibility is that in 2022... at the end of that season, he might leave Barcelona because that's when Luis Suarez's contract ends with Atletico Madrid, and the two of them will go to Inter Miami, David Beckham's team. I think if he is to leave, that sounds the most likely.
In as manager, what does everyone think of? Sorry to interject there. I just thought it was apt. Obviously, appointed the manager.
Phil Neville.
There was some controversy. Beckham had to come out and say, "Look, it's not due to personal connections."
There's a lot that can be said about Phil Neville. I mean, I don't know if this is the right pod for it, but I mean, he was completely...
I thought he's
been completely underwhelming. Everywhere he's been, he was a terrible England manager. He was a terrible coach at Valencia. I think he has got the job because of his connections with Beckham. There's no two ways about it.
Gary Neville was the one at Valencia, not Phil Neville.
No, he was a coach at Valencia.
He was the assistant under Gary, yeah.
Yeah, he was assistant. He was coach.
Your mate, I'd like to think if I was manager somewhere, I'd be like, yeah, let me bring up my coaches. And then Henry comes in, we'll create.
Do you really think? Right? I know we've completely gone from Barcelona to Inter Miami here, but do you really think Phil Neville, of all people, is going to be able to control people like Blaise Matuidi and Gonzalo Higuain? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
And potentially Messi and Suarez.
No way.
In the dressing room.
Precisely. Potentially Messi and Suarez. There's no way God's green earth is going to happen.
Like, I want a fucking Burger King right now. Get me a fucking Burger King. And Phil Neville's like, I don't really know what we could do for you right here. You know, what sort of scenarios are you envisioning that he can't have?
How much have you had to drink, mate?
Nothing. I'm just. What sort of scenarios are you envisioning that he can't have?
I press X to doubt.